Connecting to GNet. Accessing. Accessing. Connecting. LinkedIn.
Disarmed Mother. Alice kissed her kids before bedtime. It was something that they used to do together with her husband, but he was no longer here. Last year he was shot to death by some thugs while coming back home from work. It was a carjacking gone wrong, the police said. She sighed heavily and, hand slightly shaking, turned off the lights. Nowhere was safe anymore, and the new government repealed the Second Amendment didn't help either. She, being a law-abiding citizen that she was, gave up her rifle during the organized governmental buyback last year. Now, even pistols weren't allowed, not except if you were a Communist Party member. Alice had no intentions of joining these deranged fanatics, not after what she's heard of the violent mobs of students were doing. Rumors were spreading all over the net, that is, before the party censored it completely. Some of the guns owners had refused to give up their weapons and were lynched. Didn't know if that was true or false. Out here in the ranch, Alice and her kids were pretty much alone. Anyone who wanted to visit had to travel at least 30 minutes from the nearest town by car. The mother walked into her now lonely room and took an old, withered book from her husband's nightstand. It still smelled of his scent left behind, and gently kissed the cover before opening the first couple of pages. Her intention was to read, but the woman was too tired and fell asleep. She was awoken by the sharp sound of a broken glass and leapt from her bed. The book fell on the floor while Alice ran towards her kid's room, phone in hand. The woman heard someone talking outside. So the bitch and her kids are alone. No weapons, man. Just in case, go get the knives from the kitchen and I'll go upstairs. She quickly opened the door and slipped in together with her two children, closing and locking the door behind her. Not that that would help much. Looking downstairs, she saw 3 men, all armed with pistols. All of them calmly chatting, completely assured of their own safety. Alice braced the door with one of the chairs and slipped under the double bed where her kids were already hiding, trembling and shaking with fear. 911, what's your emergency? Mumbled a sleeping voice, answering her call. There are 3 armed men in my house. Please help me. My address is... The operator calmly listened to Alice's frantic and panicked voice, noted her address, and replied, Ma'am, I need you to get to a safe place and wait for the response team. ETA 15 minutes. By law, I'm authorized to inform you that any armed resistance on your part will result in your attacker's bodily harm, may be punishable up to 4 years in federal prison. Good luck. Alice's hand shook as she whispered angrily, What? Good luck? The 911 operator hung up suddenly, but just before she did, Alice could hear a man's voice whispering, Leave her. She was a gun owner. Realizing that she had to fend for herself, Alice crawled from the bed and picked up her son's baseball bat, frantically looking around for a way out. Suddenly, one of her attackers kicked the door. Here. I know you're here, bitch. Open the door and I promise to give you a full 5 minutes of life. Only if you're good to us. The door shook and almost flew off its hinges after another powerful kick. Alice pointed to the window of her 2 children. They understood what she wanted them to do, and from first glance, and her daughter grabbed a blanket. Never mind that they were on the 2nd floor, both jumped down, wrapped in their thick blankets. She turned around just in time to see the door fall and screamed, charging at the home invaders, swinging the kitty baseball bat. Her two children, limping, crying desperately, tried to reach the barn when they heard their mother wallow out in pain. There was a single gunshot, and then silence. "Mommy, what is it?" asked Alice's little daughter, pointing at the scanner's greenish hollow display. "That little red dot represents somebody who does not value their life, honey. Hush now, or you'll wake up your brother," whispered Alice, and smiling, aimed the railgun. From her house's open second-story window, she had an excellent view and a wide field of fire. While her husband was on a mission, she could keep herself and her kids safe. Alice was a crack shot, an ex-colonel militia sniper. Her marksmanship was peerless. Never did she miss, not even once, during her entire 6-year service in the Cirrus militia, fighting side by side with her husband, keeping his back safe while he charged forward. Together they fought off the invader, and Alice valued the time that she spent with on the front lines. There was no way she'd allow some no-name criminal to harm her kids, not while she was breathing and held a rifle in her hands. Somewhere, a mile away, the lone alien thug was slowly filling the distance between herself and Alice's farm. She had a snub beam gun and hoped that the farm occupants were similarly less armed. And if she could catch them sleeping, all the better. Terrans were rich and had lots of stuff in their homes that she could pawn for some quick cash back home. She could care less about the lives she had to snuff out, so that she could line her pockets with ducats. The thug made another hopeful step, and her entire upper torso exploded into gory bits. If you like this recording, then feel free to support the author, Aragmar, also known as the Black Knight. He can be found on Minds, and his books listed down below can also be found on Amazon. And if you're also feeling froggy, go ahead and support my channel, as I am also supporting this particular author, by liking and subbing. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and farewell.
Link terminating.